Real leaders stand out in business, in life, and in their journey to build wealth because of these six qualities I'm about to reveal to you. Lesson one that we will look at today, you will learn everything about the importance of having a strong sense of self. Second, we will look at the importance of having a strong sense of purpose. And third, we will look at the importance of having a strong sense of direction. Real leaders understand this, and they've learned to apply and master these qualities. But above all, real leaders understand the importance of thinking ahead. Real leaders understand the importance of seeing beyond problems, and real leaders understand the importance of taking informed action. How often do you take action to start and scale that six, seven, and nine-figure brand but fail? How often do you take action to position yourself to build wealth but you fail? How often do you invest hard-earned money into getting the best academic qualification but still fail? Commit the time, talent, and resources to learn what I'm about to reveal to you, and your life will be transformed. I begin with lesson one. Real leaders commit the time, talent, and resources to learn, apply, and master having a strong sense of self. But what exactly does having a strong sense of self represent? Well, just before I get into the strong sense of self, let me tell you what actually gets in the way of your strong sense of self. There's a concept that we call the self-image theory, and very often you have never heard about it. Millions of people across the world, as we test this out, they have never heard about this. But this is exactly what is getting in the way of you mastering your sense of self. Now, the self-image theory really helps you to understand four selves. There's the ideal self, there's the self-image, there's the looking glass self, and then there is the real self. Which one is a true representation of who you are right here, right now? And if you don't know that, it's going to undermine your ability to lead yourself and to lead others. So let's examine them in the brief. There's a fact that many persons never heard about the real self. They heard about the ideal self, the way that you would like to be. They heard about the self-image, the way that you see yourself. And perhaps they might have some idea about the looking glass self. Whether you have heard about it, you have grown through this. And it's important to grow through this, knowing all of them. Now, just before I get into examine each of them, I want to tell you a story. Because of the importance of all of this, I've exposed all of my kids, and I have, three beautiful kids. And the two boys, they're black belts, and my daughter, she's honored with two black belts. But I mentioned black belt because in life, you should not only strive to be a black belt in Shotokan or in some sports, you should also strive to be a black belt when it comes to mastering your sense of self. And my kids, I have taught them this. Our community, I have taught them this. Because one thing that is the absolute truth, you can never rise above your sense of self. So the strong sense of self that you have, that is what's going to set you up to elevate in all aspects of life, in business, in your personal life, and in wealth creation. So committing that time, talent, and resources to become a black belt of your life, a black belt of your sense of self is important. You want to go all the way up to perhaps a fifth dan when it comes to mastering your sense of self. So let's get into this stuff. Very often you look at movies and you see a superstar in the movie, and that becomes your ideal self. You see that image that you fall in love with, and that becomes your ideal self. But I want to say this to you. What you're seeing playing out in that movie, it's not real. And the moment you get caught up in this, it can be a recipe for disaster. So you need to be aware of it. The second thing that I want to look at in the brief is that you also have your self-image. And very often, your self-image is shaped by your socialization to life. And if your socialization to life is not one that conditions you to have a black belt in terms of mastery your sense of self, again, that can pose a challenge to you because most people's sense of self, for some strange reason, it surfaces in the negative. You have a negative sense of self, and that rings through in everything that you do. But real leaders, they're aware of this, and real leaders, they're in control of this. So the earlier you become conscious of what is getting in the way of you becoming a real leader, you can silence the negative, you can silence the noise, and you can amplify your essence.
10x Branding and Marketing LLC, powering the next generation of unicorns. At 10x B&M LLC, we specialize in market research, brand innovation, market integration, and client conversion optimization. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing the strategic insights and innovative solutions needed to accelerate growth and unlock your company's full potential. Whether you're a startup looking to attract investors and your ideal clients, or an established business ready for market expansion, we're here to guide you every step of the way. Let 10x Branding and Marketing LLC fuel your journey to exceptional business success. Contact us now for a free consultation on how we can position your business to become a unicorn.
These are important concepts that real leaders know how to apply and master to position themselves to achieve greatness in business and in life and in wealth creation. And if you want to accomplish this, you owe it to yourself to invest everything that you've got to become the best version of yourself, to master who you are, to master your sense of self. Real leaders invest in this. Third, you have the concept that we call the looking glass self. And the looking glass self is that self that is the people pleaser. We all go through that at some points of our life. Some of us go through it longer. Some of us may have just a little time going through it, depending on who's mentoring and coaching you. Again, with my kids, from the get-go, I start to educate them about all of it. You don't want to please people and undermine your true sense of self. You don't want to be that people pleaser. And then when you walk away from that situation and you get into your comfort zone, you start to say, why did I do that? You become Urkel because you're the people pleaser. You see, someone that understands the real self, someone that has a strong sense of self, you're not necessarily the people pleaser. Yes, you may do things that a whole lot of people like, but they like what you're doing because you're doing it based on your true sense of self. And that is something that you truly need to connect your true sense of self. Real leaders achieve great things in life, in business, and in wealth creation because they have learned to and master this part of themselves. And you need to learn, apply, and master this so you don't become a sucker to pleasing people that don't care a swat about you. I'm not saying that you're not going to be nice to people. I'm not saying that you're not going to be caring to people. I'm not saying that you're not going to be compassionate to people. But there's a major difference in being nice, compassionate, and helping people to achieve success. There's a major difference between that and you just doing everything to please everyone. Not a healthy state of mind. Not a healthy state of mind. The self that you truly need to connect with is what we call the real self. And I'm going to tell you something very quickly about the real self. The real self in its true essence, it has the potential to be great. What I'm saying here, in other words, is that regardless of where you were born, regardless of where you came from, regardless of where you're at right now in your life, you have the ability to change your reality into any circumstances that you want. What I'm saying here is that you were born with a gift, and when you learn to honor that gift, the real you, something magical happen because you believe in you. And the great book says, so as a man thinketh, you believe in yourself, so is he. With faith as small as the mustard seed, you can make great things happen. What is the great thing that you want to have happen in your life? You want to start and scale that 6, 7, and 9-figure brand. You want to be successful in life. You want to build wealth. Well, the more you understand your real self, the more you believe in yourself is what's going to set you up for success. The last thing that I'm going to say on this particular lesson is that you don't have to know it all, but it makes sense to get a mentor. It makes sense to get a coach. It makes sense to get a sponsor. It makes a whole lot of sense to become part of a supportive community that is really going to help you to master your sense of self, because people rise and fall on your sense of self, and people can never grow beyond your sense of self. So I'm trusting that moving forward, you will see the importance of investing time, talent, and resources to master a strong sense of self.
Gary Thompson, the sales communication professional, best-selling author and private equity investor, says, master the client conversion ladder and optimize your business success. He continues, many rising stars in business try to get from A to Z in a split second in the client conversion journey. That approach will set you up for frustration, time, money, and effort being wasted. The alphabet has 26 letters. Each letter has great significance in words formation and in human expression. The client conversion process has many steps, and when these steps are overlooked, it negatively influences your ability to attract and communicate with the ideal client. You must invest in breaking through the know, like, and trust barriers that allow you to win in business. He went on to say, the first step in your client conversion journey begins with relationships. 1. Fill the relationship gaps. 2. Leverage relationships to overcome client rejection. 3. And position your brand to stand out in the market. Gary wants you to be successful and invites you to call us today to help you master the client conversion ladder, optimize your brand recognition, and increase the cash flow of your business.